بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. We're studying a new topic today, inshallah, with in the advanced Nahw, larger topic. So today we're dealing with Jumlah SharTiyah, which means basically conditional sentences. That's what we're going to take a look at today, inshallah, and hopefully look at some examples as well. Okay. So this is basically, when we're talking about conditional sentences, we're talking about two sentences in which the second part doesn't come true unless the first part does. So it's a very basic understanding of what a Jumlah SharTiyah is. We understand what a conditional sentence is. So I'm just introducing this topic, even though you're familiar with this, as just like a revision of some sort. So these are the if-then sentences, or when-then. When this happens, then that will happen, or if this happens, then that will happen. So that's the idea of a conditional sentences. So I want that to be on your mind. So we have the condition part, and then we have the response part. So we have two parts of a condition or a conditional sentence. So let's look at some examples of what a conditional sentence looks like in English, just to get the general idea of what this is. So for example, if I said, if you exercise, you will stay fit. So the first part, if you exercise, you will stay fit. Or if I said, had you exercised, you would have stayed fit. Or had you not exercised, you wouldn't have stayed fit. Whatever exercise you do, you will stay fit. When you exercise, you stay fit. Wherever you exercise, you stay fit. However you exercise, you stay fit. Whoever exercises will stay fit. Whenever you exercise, you stay fit. Whichever exercises you do, or whichever exercise you do, you stay fit. Every time you exercise, you stay fit. As for exercising, it makes you stay fit. And there's a reason why I'm giving you all this, and you will realize, you will see why soon, why I'm giving you so many examples and different variations of conditional sentence. So there's just a small note. Had you exercised, if you notice, everything else is either in the present or in the future tense, but had you exercised and had you not exercised, these two are in the past tense. So that's something to keep in mind. These two are always going to be translated in the past tense, whereas everything else is going to be either in the present or in the future tense. And in Arabic, we know we only have mudari' for both those jobs, the present and the future tense. So in other words, these two are going to be in Madi. They're going to be translated in Madi. The rest is going to be translated in mudari' in the future tense or in the present tense. All right. Now let's look at the parts of a conditional sentence. What are we looking at? There are three parts to a conditional sentence in Arabic. So there's the first part, which is the adatu shart. And adatu shart basically is like the thing that, gives the condition, like the tool of condition. I don't know how to call it, but yeah. So there's that article of shart. Let's call it an article. So there's the article of shart, adatu shart. Then you have the fi'l shart, which is now the verb that gives the condition. And then you have the jawabu shart, which is also another fi'l, or it could be another fi'l, but it could be like a sentence after it that gives the response to the condition. So if this happens, that happens. So there are three parts: the article of condition, the verb of condition, and then the response to the condition. Let's look at an example here. So we have in tadrus tanjah. In means if. If you study, tanjah, you pass. You pass your exams, or you pass whatever. So if you study, you succeed, or you pass. If you study, you succeed. If is our article of condition, adatu shart. Tadrus would be our fi'al shart, and of course tanjah would be our jawabu shart. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Same thing when we look at law darasa. Now this, we said this is going to be in the madi. So law darasa najaha. Had he studied, he would have passed. He would have excelled. He would have been successful. So law darasa najaha. Those are the three parts of a Jumlah SharTiyah, basically. Now let's look at this next table over here. When it comes to the adawatu shart, now the articles of conditions, the articles of shart, there are two kinds of these articles. We have adawatu shart al-jazima and we have adawatu shart غير al-jazima. So that's category number 1, category number 2. Okay, and there's some of these adawat that we learned in Bayinnah program, and there's some of them that we didn't learn in Bayinnah program. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the full table so you can see it continues a little bit. So we're going to start with the ones that we actually learned, that we are familiar with, that you can find in the textbook, the ones that are written in the textbook. Just briefly go over them, and then we can go to the ones that may be new to some of you, may not be new to some of you, I don't know. So we have the adawat al-shart al-jazima. Basically what that means is that they make the two fi'als, the fi'al shart and the jawab. If there's a fi'al in the jawab that is mudara, they're going to be majzoom. Okay, we understand that. It's going to be majzoom. In is one of them. And we learned this when we were doing the in lam lamma wal falli. So in is adawat al-jazima, adawat al-shart al-jazima. Okay, that's number 1. Then you have man. Now, so far we covered, we know about man istifhamiyya. Like if I say man hadha, who is this? That is a questioning man. Yeah, a questioning man. We all know about that. Then we covered man mawsula. When we were doing ism mawsul and silatul mawsul, we covered man. So that's a different kind of man. So far, we've covered 2. And now we're covering a third one, man SharTiyah. So now you realize these adawat, they serve different purposes. Okay, and you're going to see that a lot. So now this is the third kind of man, which is man SharTiyah. But of course, it means who or whoever. Same meaning. It doesn't really change. The meaning never changes. It's just that the usage could be used differently. Okay. Then you have ma or mahma. Again, ma, we already did ma mawsula. I don't know if we touched a bit on ma masdari. I don't think we did, but so there's so many different kinds of ma. And here we're looking at ma al-shartiyah. So we've done ma mawsula. Now we're looking at a different kind of ma al-shartiyah. And of course, when we get to advanced structures, we will look at all the different kinds of ma, which means, and ma means what or whatever. Again, something we didn't look at in Bayinnah, I think. This is mahma. Mahma, it wasn't there, but it has the meaning as ma, so I put them here together because it's the same thing. It means whatever. Ma and mahma, they mean the same thing. So that's why I bundled them up together like this. Then we have the last one is aynama, that was covered in Bayinnah. Aynama is also an adatu shart al-jazima. It makes the fi'al majzoom, and it means wherever. Okay, so those are the ones that we did in Bayinnah. From the ones that we did in Bayinnah that do not make the fi'al majzoom is law. Okay, law does not, it's غير jazima. It does not make majzoom. And of course, like I said, it translates in the past. All the others translate in the future. This is the only, so you just have to remember law translates in the past. Okay, and it comes with lam al-jawab. So law this happened, la something else. Okay, so that's kind of just what you need to remember. Law comes with a la. The jawab is going to come with a lam. And this lam, of course, is called lam al-jawab because it comes with the jawabu shart. So lam al-jawabu shart. So you see how the connection is. So the lam that comes with the jawab of law is called lam al-jawab. Again, there's so many different kinds of lam. Maybe in future we'll get to discuss about the different kinds of lam. So far, I think I came across about 14 different kinds of lam, which is crazy. So yeah, so just keep in mind that law comes with a lam, okay? And it has a fatha, it's lam maftuha. It's lam with a fatha on it. Law this, la, something else. La. It's not li, like li harf jar, no, it's la. It has a fatha on it. Now this lam al-jawab, it will come in every law sentence except if the law sentence is negative. Like if you have a negative sentence, like a negating sentence, not a negative sentence, but a negating sentence, if you will. Okay, so a negating sentence. So for example, لو شاء الله ما أشركنا. Had Allah willed, we would never have committed shirk. We would never have done shirk. Okay, so had Allah willed, we would never have committed shirk. So you don't say لو شاء الله لما. You don't put the la here when it's nafiya. So in a nafiya, you don't put the la. That's important to know. Then the last one that is not غير جازمة is إذا. And we know إذا pushes the meaning to the future. This is where it comes from. Yeah, it pushes the meaning to the future because it translates into the future like the other أدوات الشرط. The only thing about إذا that you need to remember is if it comes with a جملة اسمية, it's going to be called إذا الفجائية, going to be the إذا of surprise. Yeah, and it's going to come with the meaning of all of a sudden or suddenly. إذا هي ولد. Oh, إذا هي بنت, sorry, because that's grammatically wrong to say إذا هي ولد. إذا هي بنت. All of a sudden, it was a girl. I don't know in what context you will use some, you will say something like that, but you get my meaning. Like all of a sudden, it was this. Yeah, so that's إذا الفجائية. Just a basic summary of what we learned. Okay, now we're going into the adawatu shart, the articles of condition that were not mentioned in the textbook. Okay, so we start with the ones that are jazima, the ones that make majzoom. Okay, the ones that make the mudari' majzoom. You have ayana and mata. I bundle them together again because they have the same meaning. So whenever, ayana means whenever, mata means whenever. Then you have aina, haythuma, anna. All this, they mean wherever. Okay, wherever. And then kayfama, from the word kayfa, and then you add with a ma, and it becomes however. Okay, so kayfama, however. And then you have ayu, which means which or whichever. So this is also one of those adatu that is very popular. It has so many different usages. Just like ma has so many different usages, ayu is one of those. Okay, so these are some of those that are not mentioned in Bayinnah that are jazima, that make the mudari' majzoom. The ones that do not make the mudari' majzoom, that are not mentioned in the Bayinnah book, is lawla, for example, and lawma. Lawla and lawma also have the same meaning, had it not. So law means had. It's a positive sentence, if you will. And then lawla and lawma is a negating kind of sentence, had it not. Okay. Then you have kullama and lamma. Kullama is every time. Lamma means whenever or when. When something happens, this happens. So I don't know why this should have been like different lines, but okay. It's fine. You understand that the meanings are a bit different. Kullama is every time and lamma means when. Then the last one that is غير جازمة is amma, which means as for. Which means as for. Maybe there are other adawats that I didn't capture here. Maybe I don't know. I didn't do like a full. I know there's one that is like idma or maybe others that are there. But these are the common ones that I found. So we just stick to this list. But of course, be aware that, you know, there's more. The Bayinnah curriculum is a foundation, and we're trying to build on that foundation as we're revising at the same time. So that's something that is important to always keep at the back of your mind, that there's always more to build up on. Okay, so leave room for more. Don't be closed-minded thinking that this is it. You know, there's always room for growth. Yeah, there's always room for more. Now, if you've seen the table, you would realize that I put some colors on it. So there's some yellow, there's some red, and you're probably wondering, why did I do this? Okay, so basically, whatever is in yellow is what I could find existing as a shart in the Qur'an. Okay, these are the ones that I could find as shurut, as conditions, as adawatu shart in the Qur'an. Okay, it doesn't mean that, for example, mata doesn't exist in the Qur'an. If you open the Mus'haf, if you go to furqan.com right now or whatever, you would, and you type mata, you would probably find so many ayat with mata in them. It doesn't mean that mata doesn't exist in the Quran. It just means that mata as a shart doesn't, I didn't find it occurring in the Quran. Maybe it's there, and if you find this information, please let me know. But I couldn't find it as a shart, a datu shart in the Quran. So that's what it means. That's what the yellow stands for. And I think that's why, you know, in the Bayinnah program, we didn't do some of this, because they don't really exist as shurut, as adatu shart in the Quran. And that's why probably they omitted some of this. I don't know why they omitted lawla, lamma, and kullama, and amma, but I would imagine it's because they don't really happen a lot. There are very, very few instances which this happens. So maybe the point was, if we come across them, then we'll tackle them as we go on. So I think that's the idea. But of course, in, إذا, man, ma, these ones are very common in the Quran. And I think that's why we did them in the Bayinnah program as well. I hope that's clear. Any questions so far? So now you see why I gave you a very long list of SharTiyah, because as you can see, all of those adawat that I've mentioned below are captured here. So whichever, every time, whenever, when, however, all of them are captured here in this simple sentence. And you can see how it's coming across and how the meaning changes depending on which article of condition you use. Right, so let's go on. When we are dealing with conditional sentences, there are 5 possibilities in conditional sentences. Okay, so there are 5 possibilities of how the sentence is going to look like. The first possibility is that both, so let's have this. So we've said a conditional sentence has 2 parts, part A, part B. Basically, you have the adatu shart somewhere here, and then you have the fi'l shart, which is, I'm going to call A, and then the jawabu shart, which is going to be part B. So the first possibility is that when you have A and B are the same, okay, so they're either mudari' majzoom or they're madi. So when these two are, that's possibility number 1 is that when they're both mudari'as majzoom. Possibility number 2 is when they're both madi. So the first part, the condition of the first part of the condition is fi'l mudari' majzoom. The second part of the condition is fi'l mudari' majzoom. I hope that's clear. The second possibility is that the first part, part A, is fi'l madi, and the second part, the jawab part, is also fi'l madi. Simple, simple. So we're done with that. We're done with that. Then you have the third possibility, is where the first part, the condition part, is a madi, and the jawab part is a mudari' majzoom. Okay, so that's another possibility. Then another possibility is where you have the first part is a mudari' majzoom, and the second part is a madi. Okay, so you can see that we're just playing with the madi mudari'. That's what we've been doing so far, just playing with that. Because remember, Jumlah SharTiyah is a Jumlah fi'liyah, so we will always have madi mudari'. Is a Jumlah fi'liyah in the beginning. Is a Jumlah fi'liyah. Now the last possibility is where, of course, you have the first part is either a madi or a mudari'. So it's a fi'liyah, Jumlah fi'liyah, the first part. And then the second part is Jumlah ismiyah. Now that's a different possibility. Okay. Now remember, because Jumlah SharTiyah is a Jumlah fi'liyah, you can never have the fi'l shart. You can never have the first part as a Jumlah ismiyah. You cannot have that. You cannot have the first part as a Jumlah ismiyah. It has to be a fi'l. That's why we're even calling it fi'l shart. The condition has to be a fi'l. The condition cannot be an ism. That's very important to remember. The condition has to be a fi'l. Now there's an interesting case where the jawab is not even mentioned. Like the jawab is mahdhuf. That can happen also. It happens in the Quran as well. So how can that happen? Let's look at an example. Let's say you have a son and you tell your son, don't do something. Yeah, you advise them and you're like, don't do this thing. You know, you tell them a whole lecture, right? And they go ahead and do it. And then they come back to you and so many horrible things have happened as a result of it. It's been so bad, and they come to you and they're like, oh, I did what you told me not to do, and blah, 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 and this happened and that happened and the other happened. And you are so mad, you just say, you know what, had you listened to me? You don't even say what would have happened. You just say, had you listened to me? If only you listened to me. Like, none of this would have happened. You wouldn't have done that. So basically it opens the jawab to so many possibilities. Or there are so many possibilities in the jawab that I don't even have the time to say them all. Or you know what the jawab is, so I don't even have to repeat it to you. You know, you've experienced it. You've already done it. You know what the response is. I don't even have to repeat it to you because it gives me so much headache to repeat it. So yeah, so you see that although this is a balagha point, obviously, when you don't mention the jawab, when the jawab is mahdhuf, there's so many balagha implications to that. And that happens in the Qur'an as well. I hope that's clear. We go to another aspect of that is linked to Jumlah SharTiyah. This is slightly a different aspect, but it's linked to Jumlah SharTiyah. Now, this aspect is called Al-Amr and Jawabul Amr. Just like we looked at Shart and Jawabul Shart, now we're looking at another concept that is very similar, which is like Amr and Jawabul Amr, or Talab and Jawabul Talab. Okay, so a request and the response to that request, or a command, or a forbid. It could also be a forbidding, and the response to that command or forbidding. So what is the difference between Shart and Amr? Okay, so the difference is very simple. We said conditional sentences have three things: adatu shart, the article of condition, you have the fi'l of condition, then you have the jawab of condition. Now with this Amr and Jawabul Amr, first of all, you don't have the adatu shart. You don't have the article, the law, the in, the idha, all those gone out the window. You don't have that. So you're just left with two things. Okay? You're just left with two things. And then these two things, they're limited. It's not open to every family. It's only for the second person, commanding and forbidding. So we know that the commanding and forbidding, like the sarf kabir of commanding and forbidding is sukun a u I ana. So it's just the second person. Anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antuna. Those are the people we are talking about here. We're not talking about anybody outside this circle, just the commanding and forbidding part. So it's very restricted and very limited. So that's what Amr and Jawabul Amr is all about. This particular group of people without the adatu shart. Okay? And of course, we know that the Amr and Nahi, they're going to be majzoom. So that's a condition as well. It's either commanding or forbidding, and that means they're both majzoom. Another important thing is that not every command or forbidding has a jawab. So you have to watch out for that. Don't be like, okay, I saw a command here, so this must be Amr and Jawabul Amr. No, it could just be a command. It could just be commanding you and say, go. You won't stand there and be like, okay, so what's the jawab? No, I'm just commanding you, go. Or eat. I'm just telling you to eat. And you can't just be like, okay, so what happens if I eat? Like, is there any reward to that? No, I'm just commanding you to eat. Or don't go, or don't eat. Yeah? So we have to be careful. Not every command or not every forbidding has a jawab. But when it has a jawab, then it is bunched into this group called Al-Amr and Jawabul Amr, or Talab and Jawabul Talab. So for example, here we have exercise. You be fit. I'm commanding you to exercise, and as a result of that, you'll be fit. So because I don't want to say all these different things and it is understood, I just say exercise, you'll be fit. Amr, Jawabul Amr. Or don't exercise, you hurt yourself. Don't exercise, and as a result of you not exercising, you will not hurt yourself. I don't have to say all that. I can just say, don't exercise, you'll be fit. Okay? So don't exercise is nahi, forbidding, and you hurt yourself is the jawab of that, basically Amr or nahi, the jawab of that nahi. I hope that's clear. So if we look at some Arabic examples here, so iqra tanjah. Iqra is a command. I'm commanding you to read. Read, you succeed. Idhab tastafid. Go, you benefit. I don't even have to say so many things. You understand? If I say go, you will benefit. Or ud'u lana Allah nastafid min ni'amihi. Ask Allah, or like make dua to Allah, so we benefit from his blessings. What is the jawab of that? Nastafid. We benefit from his blessings. So you see how Amr and Jawabul Amr comes along, and how it is similar to Shart and Adawatu Shart. Shart and Jawabul Shart. Okay. Now any questions so far? Are we good? Again, we're just revising, so these are all concepts you're familiar with. Maybe just a few new things I'm introducing here and there, but very simple to understand things. Now, we're going into another concept that is related to Shart. So let me just okay. So we're going into another concept that is related to Jawabu Shart specifically. And this is the fa arabita. This is the fa that normally comes with the Jawabu Shart. So sometimes you may be reading the Qur'an and then you see a shart And then in the jawab, there's a fa. And you always ask yourself, like, why is there a fa? And why in this case there's not a fa? So I tried to look for the reasons, and they gave me all these different reasons. And I don't want to go into so much details about this. So I'm just gonna skim through and then give you like a hack. Okay. Because I don't think like it's necessary to have all this information. Yeah, it's important for us to simplify things. And I feel like sometimes I look at the way they teach Arabic and I feel like it's just too complicated for no reason. There's a simpler way of saying it. So let's say the simpler version of it. Let's not say all this. So let's see what they said. They said, you know, when the jawab has a ma linked to a ma. So for example, you look at the jawab here, فَإِن تَوَلَّيْتُمْ, that's the condition. Fa, then there's a ma. So if there's a ma in the jawab, then the fa comes in. So you can't say فَإِن تَوَلَّيْتُمْ ma, فَما. Fa has to come in. Or if there's a lan, same thing. Then you bring in the fa. Or if there's a lana here or a lana fiya, then, you know, you bring in the fa. فَلَا يَخَافُ. Or if there's a qad, or if there's a sa or a sawfa, or if there's a rubbama, or if there's a ka'annama, or if there is an amr or a talab, or if it's a jumla ismiya, or if there's a laysa bi'sa. Basically, what are you hearing me say? What you're hearing me say is that if the jawab is slightly different from the shart, then you bring in the fa. That's basically what I'm hearing. I mean, why didn't somebody just say that? It's easy, simple. It could mean maybe it's not foolproof, maybe it's not 100%, but it's an easier statement to understand and an easier statement to, you know, remember. So basically, the fa comes in when the shart maybe is a madi and the jawab is a jumla ismiya. So you bring in the fa. Or if the shart is a mudari' and the jawab shart is a madi, so you bring in the fa. Or, you know, the shart is a fi'al mudari' and on this other side is a future tense. Maybe there's a sa or a sawfa, so you bring in the fa. So basically you see if there's a difference between the condition part and the jawab part, there's a slight difference. Or maybe on this side is positive sentence and on this side is a negating sentence, then we bring in the fa. So if there's a slight difference between the condition part and the jawab part, then most likely you will have a fa. And that was my summary for jawabu shart, shart and jawabu shart, the whole thing. So now we're going to look at some exercises. All right. Yes, Sabah.
So the fa comes on every shart, like even on jawabu shart, jawabu talab, or jawabu amr.
Yes.
Or is it okay? Okay. Well, thank you.
What does it come with? I have to confirm. I'm not so sure about amr and jawabul amr. Let me just see. I think if it's the same, like, so obviously when it's amr and jawabul amr, it's going to be both. It's going to be majzoom. So I don't think the fa comes in there, but I'll have to confirm that. I'm not sure. But with the shart and jawabu shart, you will have the fa coming in if there's a slight difference between the two.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. I hope that was a good enough summary for shart and jawabu shart. So now let's look at this exercise that I prepared for you guys. So basically what we're going to do here is we have this ayah. It's not a full ayah, it's part of an ayah. Then we're going to identify the adatu shart. After we've identified the adatu shart, we're going to say whether is it jazima or ghair jazima. Then we're going to identify the fi'l shart. Then we're going to say, is it a madi, is it mudari', is it, you know, amr and jawabul amr, what's happening there? We need to figure that out. And then we look at the jawab and then also identify what's happening with the jawab and then see if there's a fa coming in. And of course, ask ourselves, what could be the justification for fa coming in? So that's basically the simple exercise. Okay, sure. Yeah, that's fine. We can take turns, no problem. Jose is asking if we can take turns doing the questions so that we don't rush through. But yeah, that's good. That's good because I think it's important for us to really internalize these concepts and just not rush through them for the sake of completing a topic. So that's good. If you want to participate, please raise your hand and then we can go step by step. Okay, so far I have two people here. So we have Saima and Fawzia. So we'll go in that order. Okay, so Saima, we're going to start with you. So tell us, what is our أداة الشرط in من يهدي الله فهو المهتد.
Okay, Bismillah. So man is an أدوات الشرط.
Yes, so man, this is our أداة. I'm just going to highlight it. Is it جازمة or غير جازمة?
It is جازمة.
Yes, it's جازمة. And then what is our فعل شرط?
يهدي.
As you can see, it's light. I'm just gonna. And what kind of a فعل is that?
مضارع.
So this is مضارع. And the جواب, what is the جواب?
It's a جملة اسمية.
So this is جملة اسمية. And is there a fa?
Yeah, there is a fa.
Yes. So basically, that's what we're going to do. It's a very simple, basic exercise for just to help us identify what's happening in the sentence. We have Saba as well. Okay, so I hope that's clear what Saima did. Then we go to Fawzia. You can do the next. So لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا.
So low is the أداة جازم أداة الشرط. And it is not جازمة. غير جازمة, sorry.
Yeah, so say غير جازمة.
We have أنزلنا is مضارع.
أنزلنا.
No. Yeah, no, sorry. It's ماضي.
Yes.
Had we sent this Quran upon a mountain? So la, we've got the la, ra'aytahu. So jawab is ra'ayta, madi.
Good. And of course here we don't get a fa because law comes with la.
We have the la.
Doesn't come with fa. Yeah. So here it doesn't apply basically. Great. Then we have Saba. You can unmute yourself and look at. Yeah.
Okay, so فأينما. So for and أينما, I think it is أينما جملة اسمية. No, sorry, أينما فعل ماضي.
أينما. What do you think? What is
No,
أينما?
sorry, أينما is أداة الشرط.
Yes, that's our أداة الشرط. Yeah.
تولوا is the فعل, and I think it is مضارع مجزوم.
Because أينما is جازمة, so here we'll put جازمة, and this is مضارع.
Yes. And فثم وجه الله, so it is ثم وجه الله. It's جملة اسمية. And yes, we do have, so I think because it's مضارع and جملة اسمية, so the for is there.
Just give me a second, I need to do something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there's a fa here, right? Sorry. Yes, there's a fa. Okay, good. Then we're gonna go back to Saima and just follow that order as we go on. Okay.
In is the أدوات الشرط. It is جازمة. Then the fi'l is يمسس. فعل مضارع. Is light. Then we have a fa in the jawab, and it is because our jawab is a jumla ismiya.
لا كاشف له. Yeah. So this is ismiya and this is yes. Yeah. So there's a fa there. Beautiful. Okay, Fawzia.
So there's a Lola.
Where's the fi'l?
No, sorry. Oh, you're. I forgot. Fazlullahi, don't fail. So it's a Jumla Ismiya, right? Fazlullahi
Yeah.
is a idafa.
So it's a negation. Let me just check something because I feel like I didn't explain something that I missed out. Because I feel like Lawla comes with, because I don't know if it comes with a verb. That's something I need to check. Yeah, so I think Lawla doesn't come with a, no, it comes with a verb. Why did I put this one here? Very interesting. Because I was just picking examples.
Does it have to come with a word? Had
No.
it not been for the fazl of Allah upon you and His rahmah?
So because la is negation, so it, and we know la can negate a jumla ismiya and it can negate a jumla fi'liya. So because of that, it can come with either, with both.
Yeah.
So that's something to note there. So when we're seeing lawla and lawma, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a jumla fi'liya or a shart, a fi'l shart. It could be either an ism or a fi'l that comes after that. Okay, so لولا, is it جازمة or غير جازمة?
غير جازمة.
غير جازمة. غير جازمة. And of course, in this case, we have like a جملة اسمية. So let's just put جملة اسمية there. Like a negation because of the لا. So ولولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته لاتبعتم الشيطان إلا قليلا.
So the la tabatum would be a fail, jumla failure.
Yes, which is our jawab. So we're looking at مضارع here. اتبع, no, this is ماضي, sorry. اتبع, يتبع.
Lola does not follow the far rule.
No, لو, so لولا, لوما, and لو, they come with لا. So you see this لا?
Okay.
Yeah.
So this la will be part of the Lola.
Yes, it comes with that. Okay. Like it begins the jawab. Normally we have a fa beginning the jawab, but when it's لو, لولا, and لوما, we have a لا.
Okay.
We have a la. Yeah. So it doesn't come with a fa. So you don't have la fa. No, you just have one. It's either la or fa. No both. Okay, Saba?
Can I please interrupt?
Sure.
Because I have to. So we just said ki the first part is jumla failure, but in case of law, that is an exception.
In case of lawla.
In case of lawla.
Yeah.
Is
or
that right?
lawma. Yeah.
Oh, lawma also. Like with law. Right? Law with la, law with ma.
Yes, with negation. Because now you see the la is negating. So this la is negating fadl of Allah. Had it not been for the fadl of Allah, I can also say, had it not been for you coming, so I can either use it for jumla fi'liya or can use it for jumla ismiya, the la, the negation part. And that's why I think it can either come with an ism after it or a fi'l after it, any negation basically. So it can come with a negation, whether that negation is negating jumla ismiya or negating jumla fi'liya.
So I have a question here. So this is the Lola that you introduced us. This is not the Lola that Bayinnah taught us, correct?
It's the same one.
It's the same one because you introduced low ma and low la. Oh.
Lawla is the same one. It's low ma. That's it's new. I don't know. They have a lawla.
I think she's asking about that law and that single lam that we are saying.
Okay, sorry. Okay, that was a bit of a confusion. Yes, so you have law in the condition part, and then la comes in the jawab. So law something, la something. Yeah. So law is in the condition, which means had, which is the one we were taught, and it comes with lam al jawab. Okay. So that's one concept. Now from that one concept, you can have lawla, which is a negative version, a negating version of the first one. Okay. So it's basically more or less the same thing. It's just that one is, a positive sentence and the other one is a negative sentence. That's it. And of course, when you have a negative sentence and you're using la, la can be used for both Jumla Ismiya and Jumla Fi'aliyah. So that's where the difference comes in. Ma can be used for Jumla Ismiya and it can also be used for Jumla Fi'aliyah. So that's where the difference comes in. Yeah. But it's the same la. Yes, and the jawab will also have a la. It's the same thing. I hope that clarifies.
And one more thing. In the book, low comes with kana, and kana we know as Jumla Ismiya. So it's not exclusively for verbal sentences. Low.
So kana is actually called fi'al naqis. It's a fi'al. It's just that it is naqis. It's missing something. Yeah. And also you have kana that is complete. So there are two kinds of kana. There's one kana that is incomplete, and then there's one kana that is complete, but it's still a verb. So the one that is incomplete, the naqis one, is the one that we treat as a Jumla Ismiya. Even though it's a fi'al, we just treat it as a Jumla Ismiya. And you actually will see, maybe in future, we'll talk about other fi'als that are also treated in this way. They're treated as Jumla Ismiya even though they're fi'als. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right. Saba?
Yes. So وإذا مس الناس, so إذا is أداة الشرط غير جازمة.
Beautiful.
And massa is the فعل الشرط and it is ماضي. And ناس الزرون, so دعوا ربهم منيبين إليه is جواب الشرط and it is also فعل ماضي. And no need for fa.
Exactly. So you see madi, much, no fa. Before we had mudare isim, so the fa came. Mudare isim, we had a fa. So here madi, of course this is law, it doesn't apply. But you can see what we're talking about basically. Okay, Saima.
Yeah. فاتبعوني يحبكم ويغفر لكم.
Think a little bit more. Like
it is Amar.
Yes, it's Amr. So we don't expect an adatu shartiyah because it's Amr and Jawab al-Amr. So here we have Amr. And of course here is going to be the Jawab al-Amr. And is there a fa coming in?
فاتبعوني يحبكم الله ويغفر لكم. No, there is no fa. يحببكم الله. The jawab starts.
Yes. So yeah, that's important to just identify. So this Amr, this is our Amr. اتبعوني. اتبعوني. So اتبع يتبع اتباعا فهو متبع. So this is the اقترب family. اتبع اتبعوني is the Amr. Follow me. What will be the result or the consequence of you following me? يحببكم الله. Yeah. So that will be the jawab of Amr. And of course, this jawab is connected to yaghfir. It's also going to be light. And it's connected. So this whole part is the jawab, the whole thing up to the end. I hope that's clear.
When we add a fa, hamzatul wasl can be omitted while writing? Fatta.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
itta.
I think so. Yeah, because yeah, the hamzatul wasl can be omitted. Yes, yes. Yeah, when writing, yeah, it can be omitted. Right, let's go on. Fauzia.
Mahma is
Beautiful.
the adat al-shart.
Mm-hmm.
And it is is it jazima or ghair
Yes.
jazima?
Yes, it is jazima.
It
So
is
remember,
jazima.
it's just link it with ma. Mahma and ma, same.
Okay.
And also, if you look at ta'tina, it's not
that has a
ta'ti.
kasra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ya, because this is naqis, ata ya'ti. So it's not ya'ti. Ya'ti. The ya is gone. So that's why you know it's majzum. Yeah.
Okay. So it's a okay. Yati, it's a mudare.
Yeah, it's a mudare. So ata ya'ti. It's a
Yeah.
mudare.
And the jawab is also a mudare.
Yes.
Lead.
Where's the jawab?
That's
the jawab.
We have fima. Fama.
There we go.
Fama nahnu.
Yes.
Fama nahnu. So this
So
is Jumlah Ismiya.
Exactly. So this is
and
the
we've
Jumlah
got the
Ismiya.
fa.
And that's why you got a fa. Okay. Okay, great. Then we have Saba.
So Aynama is the adatu shart.
You keep getting Aynama. What's happening?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the one you need to learn.
Okay, so Aynama is adatu shart, and it is rifu. So it is jazima.
Beautiful.
And sukhifu is mudare. No, it's madi. Sukhifu, yes, madi home version. And sukhifu ukhidu wa khudtu takhbila. So the jawabu shart is it ukhidu?
Yes, it is actually.
So it is also madi.
Yes.
And no need for fa.
Exactly. So أينما ثقفوا أخذوا وقتلوا تقتيلا. Okay. Beautiful. Back to you, Saima. Are you there? Saima, we can't hear you if you're speaking. Okay, sounds like a baby just spoke. I don't know. Can you guys hear me? Is it my network or?
We can hear you. I can't hear Saima.
Okay, good. So Saima, fix your microphone and then we'll come back to you. We'll go to Fauzia.
So it's kullama za'a. So that's kullama is adat al-shart. Za'a is fi'l madi.
Yes, beautiful. This is madi. So is kullama jazima or ghair jazima?
Kullama is ghair jazima.
Beautiful. Ghair jazima. And where does our jawab al-shart begin? Where do you think?
Where is that? No, that's ataf. And when
yes. So what is it ataf to? Or basically, what is the jawab?
Mashhu fihi.
Mashaw, yes.
Mashaw fihi.
Yeah.
So mashaw is again madi, fail madi.
Yes. So
no fa.
Exactly. Beautiful. Sema, I don't know if your internet is any better. Can you try right now? Okay. Okay, we can still hear you. So yeah, I can hear you now. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam now. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you now. You can hear me?
You're breaking a bit, so I couldn't catch that. Okay, so لما is غير جازم. I couldn't hear the rest. Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't get the rest. I don't know what you're saying. Anyway, let's go to Saba. Oh, I'm so sorry, we can't really hear you. Oh, it's really breaking. There's a lot of static. It doesn't, it's not clear. So we're gonna go to Saba. Saba, you can finish off what Saima started to say there. And
Okay,
then
so أضاءت is the فعل الشرط and it is ماضي.
Beautiful.
And it lights whatever around it. So ذهب الله بنورهم is جواب الشرط.
Beautiful.
And ذهب is also ماضي. And so there was no need for
yeah. Beautiful.
No, Sama's mic was working, then Sama
I
was going to
know. You are going to know all the Aidamas.
Yes.
Subhanallah.
I guess I will never forget Ainuma.
I didn't plan it like this, but you know, Allah planned it. Subhanallah.
Yes.
Amazing. Maybe you can still do it. I don't think it's working. Saima, are you good to? I don't know.
Assalamu alaikum.
Oh,
Can you hear me now?
Yes, beautiful. Yeah, now you can do the Ainama. Let's break the chain.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ainama is the Jazima. Takunu is our fail, Mudare, lighter. Then Ainama Takunu Yudrikumul Mawdu Walau. Yudrik.
Let me help you here.
Yeah.
So you have that Yudrik, then kum. That's kind of what happened there.
Yudrikum. Kumul Mawdu. أينما تكونوا يدرككم الموت ولو كنتم في. So يدرككم are this thing starts the jawab.
Beautiful.
Wherever you are, يدرككم الموت, the death will find you. ولو كنتم في بروج مشيدة. So this is موصوف صفة.
Yeah.
Buruja, the constellations high, something. Yeah. Even if you are in very high constellation, something like that, even you are.
Yeah, death is gonna find you.
Death is going to find you. So here, love is not our adavat of shart. It's just like normal sentence, or is?
Yeah. Yeah. Even if this is low, even if. So again, you see how like they have different functionalities.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously here yudrikum. Basically the mudari' was supposed to be yudriku, but because it is majzoom, that is why it's yudrik. And then of course the attached pronoun antum, kum, that's where you have a shadda coming in. So yudrikum. So it became yudrikum with a shadda.
So the both are mudari, so no fa.
Exactly. Beautiful. So we have a few more. I think we can finish and then we can end the session. Fawzia?
Yes. Yeah, qawmana ajibu. I think this is Amr and Jawab Amr.
Yes.
So this is Ajibu is Majzoom. Yallahi wa aminu. That's where the jawab starts.
So wa,
No,
there's a
it's
harf
ma'taf.
ataf before
Oh,
it.
that's harf ataf. Oh, wa aminu bihi yaghfir lakum. Yaghfir then.
Yes, yeah.
The next Majzoom.
Yeah, I meant to do that. Yeah, so that will be our amr also.
Jawab.
Yeah, jawab al-amr. And it's a match. So that's what happens with amr and jawab al-amr. Basically, you're going to have that match situation. Then we have, so let's stick to that order. We can go to Saba, then Saima. So Saba.
So Khalu du'u lana. So I think it is also Amr.
Beautiful.
Rabbaka. So yubayyin lana. So yubayyin is the Jawab al-Amr.
Yes. Yeah. So this is our Jawab al-Amr. Yubayyin, not yubayyinu, because we know yu'allimu. But now it's been made majzoom, so it's yubayyin. That because it's the Jawab al-Amr. Yeah.
So every time there is Amr or any adult shart that is going to make the fa'il next to it majzoom, the jawab would also be in majzoom, right?
Yes. Yes, always. With amr and jawab al-amr, it's always going to be majzoom, majzoom. If it's nahi and jawab al-nahi, it's going to be majzoom, majzoom. Always.
Always.
Yeah. Okay. Saima?
Yes. So, amma, ma. Ma is the other word to start.
Actually,
it's amma.
Yes, the whole thing amma.
Yeah.
So this is probably one of the new ones I introduced. And it's the last one. So maybe you didn't pay much attention. It was like the last on the list. And it means as for.
It is Jazima. I'm not sure about Jazima or Ghair Jazima.
No, this one is Ghair Jazima. Oh.
Okay.
Ghair Jazima.
But over here, it's anyways like fail Madi, so it's not going to have any effect. And Alladina, it's a Jumla Ismiya.
Yeah, so amma, because it just compares two things. As for this ones, then this ones. Or as for this, then that. So it's mostly for comparison. So it's not really like the other in or either when this happens. It's not really like dealing with actions. It's mostly for comparison purposes. So it could even be amma al-ghurfa, for example, or amma al-kitab, something. As for the book, or as for your going, so it could come with both this one and Lauda. So yeah, that's something.
No, so two we got which can come as a Jumla with Jumla Ismiya as like a shart.
Yes.
Otherwise, rest every time it will be a Jumla failure.
Yes, in the shart, shart. Yeah.
So Alladina amanu wa amilu salihati. So this is our shart. Falahum jannatul mawa. So fa is there, but this is Jumla Ismiya only.
Yeah, so this one I don't know the reason why. I need to figure out because I'm not really familiar with
think
amma.
amma comes with fa. That's why.
Yeah, I think it has to come with something. I don't know, because either this or that, or for amma this, then that. So that part of
I think
then
Ustad Jawad also explained this thing, na? Say amma, if there is something with amma, then so this. So he told ki amma comes with a fa.
Okay. Then in that case, yeah. In that case, then we know why there's a fa, because amma comes with a fa then. So yeah. That could be the reason there. Yeah. Okay, great. Last one. Whose turn is it? I think it's Saba.
So ma yafalu. So ma is jazima without the shart.
Yes, beautiful.
And yafalu is mudari, majzum. And falan yukfaruhu is jawab shart. And it is also majzum, so it is mudari. Mudari majzum. Yes. Mudari.
Okay.
No,
I was a bit
yes.
confused. يكفرون.
يكفرون, yes. So
So
why is there
it's
fa?
actually it's not مجزوم, it's منصوب بلن. So أن لن لكي إذا حتى made it منصوب.
It's not مجزوم, yes.
Yeah. And the fa came because there's a len. So it's not directly, like it didn't go directly to the fi'l. There's something came between. There's something that blocked the fi'l basically. So we said if a lan comes in, if a ma comes in,
So
if yeah.
Is lan a future negation?
Yes.
So isn't it make it like it is mudari and it is future? So
Yes.
fa is there because of that.
Yeah, that's also a way to look at it, actually. Beautiful. Yeah. So one side we have mudara, which is like present tense, and the other side we have a future tense negation. So that's why there's a fa. Beautiful. Yeah. All right. So that's basically all the exercises I prepared for you guys. I hope the discussion of shart and jawab shart has become clear, the amr and jawab al-amr, and you've learned a few new words here. Aynama, I think Saba, you'll never forget Aynama for the rest of your life.
Never. Never.
Alhamdulillah. Good. And you learned a little bit about the fa that comes in. Yeah. And that's it. Any other questions? So Amma is here as for. It comes with fa. That will be the end of our topic today. So tomorrow, inshallah, we are looking at hal. We're going to another topic. Right. Okay. If there's no other questions, we can end there. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم guys.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاك الله خيرا كثيرا.
وإياكم جزاكم الله خيرا.
وعليكم السلام جزاك الله خير.
وإياكم جزاكم الله خير.